Okay, so today we're just going to go over the games from CRL qualifiers day one, where I actually ranked second place in the world, so not too bad. The top 32 qualified to the day two. So yeah, it's a pretty nice start to the CRL campaign. And I guess we should potentially begin back here. Try to show good sort of amount of games where possible. And into the first one, a pretty nice matchup straight away, you know, pack up when we have the RG. It's always nice. I think you've got Tombstone, especially with this new tower as well. You have to consider the value that Skeleton can provide. So yeah, a lot of different options, a lot of ways to win, I think, as we'll see early on in this game actually. So we just set up the Tombstone. It's kind of just so oppressive. He can't poison it. And yeah, so he just sits there, blocks the lane, nothing he can do. We'll get a fireball off. And a nice early Skeleton ability. And look at this. I mean, the tower's got no ammo. He goes for his E-Wiz, but even then, yeah, so much damage straight away, and that's pretty much game wrapped up. I mean, I go for a bar barrel because look at the tower. That's the way to reload, so we actually do end up getting a hit there. And yeah, same thing. Set up a tombstone. We're perfectly fine. There's not really anything you can do about it. And yeah, it seems kind of like a nice easy win to start off with, I guess you could say. Yeah, same thing. He has the zap for tombstone. It's just kind of a waste. And we can Mother Witch the opposite lane. If he chooses to P.E.K.K.A in front of this, we can defend quite easily. If he doesn't, he actually goes for a Bandit, which seems kind of useless. We get a good Skeleton off, we also get value from the Mother Witch. And yeah, the Mother Witch should get a shot if this interaction is right with the tower. It still gets one hit off. Yeah, also. And we've got the Evil Archers in hand so we can defend well. We can go for a nice bar barrel here. And actually, Evil Archers in the middle force the zap, plus they defend quite well. They stall for a bit, and this is a nice tombstone, right? We block the initial Ramrider charge, and then the Skelly's just going to kill the rest of it. For the Ram, it's not even a Ramrider, Battle Ram. As you might be able to tell, CRL took about 7 or 8 hours today, so I did want to get a video out, but it's a lot of clash, for one day. Anyways, we're sort of just slowly getting damage off, breaking through little by little, chipping away. We've got such a massive lead in sync, we don't have to make any big plays. We can just get our Skeleton going, we can actually leave the Ewers and the tower will kill. And here, RG the bridge, we can Fishman predict because he has to play his P.E.K.K.A at some point, right? Yeah, so we get a Ghost, we also get a shot, which is great, and we know we can defend this quite easily. We just have to go for Archers. We can bar barrel on the right when it eventually comes down the lane and we're perfectly fine. We can also tombstone in the middle. Yeah, nice bar barrel as well to kill the Marcher. He thought that banner was going to charge on the tombstone. Like I said, it's really just so broke. Yeah, nice clean defense once again. And exactly the same play. He just can't defend it, yeah. So this time we do hit the pack prediction, and that is game. It's really nice. So, nice and easy. I wasn't too stressed, not the strongest opponent. A nice way to win. And so into the next game, this opponent, I would have recorded live actually, but when I want to focus, it's kind of hard to do both at the same time, especially when I have to sort of compete against the top players. It's difficult to do that whilst commentating. So I thought, replays are fine, and then we'll probably do the same thing tomorrow, whatever happens with the group. We do need to come first in the group to translate that to a top 8 and get to the monthly finals, but let's see what we can do. So anyway, we're going with P.E.K.K.A here. It's a nice snipe actually. Since, yeah, P.E.K.K.A typically quite good against E-Giant. As we'll see what we do in single here, sort of the most effective maneuver possible. And we're just, trying to sort of test out his deck, see what cards he does and doesn't have. It's not, yeah, the Inferno Dragon's very nice to know, because it's the sort of thing that can get a lot of value, especially when I have no E-Wiz, if I'm not careful. So yeah, a nice set of arrows actually. We hit the Inferno Dragon plus the Mortar plus the Tower, and we can just ghost it back. But here, actually, I even outsmarted myself. Yeah, this Peck at the back is excellent, right? He can't E-giant the opposite lane because I can just Little Prince plus ability, and then I've got a P.E.K.K.A plus Little Prince plus an ability down. He has no Inferno Dragon, so he can't play that on the P.E.K.K.A. And all of a sudden, he's in massive trouble. That Boulder's gonna die. This P.E.K.K.A is coming down late, so we go for the ultimate Ridgeline push, just all of the cards, right? Because we know he has no elixir. How can he defend this? Well, the answer actually is that he can't. And so, yeah, look at his hand. What's he going to defend that with? Nothing. So we go for Little Prince at the bridge, because we know he's on no elixir. Yeah, he goes for his NATO. It doesn't really matter. He could have hit it. It would have still lost his tower, yeah. The P.E.K.K.A takes on the left. That's basically tower on the right as well. And yeah, that is game over. I mean, straight away, when that sort of thing happens in single, it's just a GG. That's all there is to it. And funnily enough, yeah, he gives up, which I think is very rare to see an opponent give up in CRL. And it's nice for my 3 crowns, which makes some difference in terms of the qualifiers. And it's also just nice, you know. Last year I was actually the player with the most 3 crowns in CRL, so I wanna retain that title. Yeah, next game against Hunter. It's kind of a disappointing one. He's a good friend of mine, but yeah, obviously I never want to have to beat my friends, especially in competition when it matters for us both. But I also don't really get much of a choice. And so, yeah, in terms of the deck choice, we were sniping Icebow, and we did hit a great snipe. We've got the Monk, we've got the Giant, Fireball for the Ice Wiz, everything we need. I actually played this deck quite often. I do have a 100% win rate with it in Zero so far. I think I use it maybe 4 or 5 times. It does just counter a lot of the stuff that's strong. There's a lot of good outplay potential. We've got the Fisherman, Night Witch is incredibly strong. A lot of things you can do with the Monk. And my version, I quite like Skelly Drags in here, just they provide the air support. And they can be valued, like, especially in this sort of matchup, right? Where it has sort of the Tesla or Rocket. You've got that sort of air support. And so here I actually choose to go for an aggressive Monk plus Fireball. Because, I mean, look at his elixir, right? He's pretty low. We got a Fireball damage. He's gonna still have to defend this. We can go for a high bomber. There's a Monk there. There's a nice Tesla from him. He does kite it into the opposite lane, but yeah. We force a NATO, plus we get a bomber shot. So straight away we're in a good spot, and that's just from basically going Giant Night Witch first play, because we knew we committed sort of temporally in a way whereby we go for the Giant, we go for the Night Witch, but we always have enough laser to defend the X-Bow opposite lane anyway, and here, incredibly aggressive with the Giant plus Skelly Drags, but given his hand, this is actually a really excellent play. It was risky, but look at that, we go for the Firewall as well, basically just all in at the bridge. But it forces out his Evo Tesla, forces out his Evo Knight. We're up over 1,000 damage now. We can just Fisherman this, and that was actually really smart, right? Because now we're getting into double elixir, the deficit that we had from this push is basically just negated, right? So we just got a load of free damage, and we know we can defend this. So we go for a high Monk. Don't want to take any risks. I know he likes his cheeky NATOs, so I just got to keep it simple. Because I know with this sort of matchup, I'll win slowly if I just play it out. And so we expect the NATO here, so we just go for a zap. It's not a lot of damage, and yeah, that's sort of all of the damage he was going to get from that. We get a nice Evo Bomber. It will force him to log plus Tornado eventually, so I like what we do there. And we actually go for a High Fisherman as well, yeah. Force out the Tornado, plus the Skellies, and given that tower, we'll just clean everything up. We can actually go for a Giant or Monk the back. Monk is smart because he can't rocket it, right? Because we can just play the ability. And so it allows us to build up a push in a way that otherwise we probably wouldn't be able to. And he's going for these really high Teslas. I don't think it's the best play, all things considered. So I eventually can just kill them. Yeah, we get a Fireball off here. And all of a sudden he's in a lot of trouble. Go for the zap. He goes for his Tesla. And now, yeah, once he's used his Evo Tesla, once he's used his Evo Knight, plus the NATO, since his tower had no ammo, this is another thing to consider. It comes up again and again. And we'll see later how I use this in my advantage in a lot of different matchups. And here, we're trying to bait the Rocket, right? We know he's down damage, he wants Rocket, and now that's an overcommitment. He's still down damage, but now we've got a massive push. We've got both our Evos in hand, we can say, yeah, look at this. I mean, this is outrageous. So we do it. It was a nice Fisherman to bait out that Rocket, and then this is actually a nice Evo Bomber in the opposite lane to hit the Ice Wiz plus Tesla, and then we can get another Giant at the bridge, and look at this. I mean, this is just a huge push. How is he going to defend this? His tower has no ammo. I've got like 15 elixir on the field. I can get another Night Witch or Skelly Drags, whatever. It's game over anyway, it doesn't matter. And so we go for Evo Zap. Yeah. It's disappointing, obviously, someone I like, and to have a hard counter like that. Yeah. But then again, competitive, we do need to win. And so into the next game, we actually make the intelligent choice to try and go for a Cannoneer snipe deck, because we do expect the Cannoneer. And we do hit the snipe as well. So even before the game starts, you can look at the towers and see what sort of matchup you have. And yeah, delivery, not great. I'm going for my sort of classic MK Prince Witch, running it back simple, kind of hoping it's some sort of draw deck, albeit the delivery will cause me some issues, and it is. So I can't complain. Yeah, this coast is nice. And then this miner, oof, the ghost forces out the guards, the miner gets that bomb tower off and he has to poison the witch. And when I see that, I know I'm up like 4 elixir, I'm up damage, and then single elixir up by this sort of amount. It's just ridiculous. And so I cycle my wall breakers in back, we want to cycle the Evos, and then this really intelligent use of the bats. So otherwise the cannoneer just one-shots them. And we're trying to force out a delivery or Little Prince. We force out Little Prince plus the ability and still get a connection. And then, yeah, I know already, before I've even gone for MK Prince, it's game over, right? I go for my MK, yeah, what's he gonna do? Look at that. Look at his hand. And so even if he defended this perfectly with, like, properly placed guards and everything, yeah, he still would have lost the vast majority of his entire tower, so kind of just perfect MK gameplay. And it was actually this initial witch that saved it for me when he had to poison it when I mined to get the bomb tower to lock onto the miner. And so he's trying sort of these desperation plays. I do actually just play arrows on basically nothing. It's fine. I'm just getting my Evo bats, don't worry about it. And those wall breakers are nice, right? Because he doesn't want to defend because he's down so much damage. He has to get this damage back. But then I'm threatening the 3 crown quite significantly, right? And so if he keeps doing stuff like that, he isn't going to get 3 crowned. And so I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to sort of outplay me if possible. But this witch in the middle is just so smart. The little prince dies to the tower. No hits on the witch side from those wall breakers plus guards. And yeah, that's game. Yeah, he gives up. Same as the last opponent. Not my favorite way to win beating my friends, but has to be done sometimes, I guess. And so yeah, nice win though. I'll skip over my 1 duel loss. I did lose to Molite. Kind of expected, right? But we can skip over that, because who needs to see me lose, right? And we'll go back. I wanted to show this deck again, because this was a perfect example of using that tower on low ammo, right? And you'll see, this sort of matchup I really shouldn't win. It's got great counters, Little Prince, Delivery, Tesla. Pigs are quite awkward, because I don't really want to fireball them. But often I do have to. And so we got the aggressive giant, because we know if he goes pigs with that bomber, it's a good fireball, and he's unlikely to. And so yeah, you can get quite aggressive and single with the giant night witches with this. And now this is just sort of the mind games in terms of the timing, right? We threaten we could zap, maybe we won't, and so we go for a late zap. All of a sudden, he has no delivery. He's gonna have to ice this, and his tower's on no ammo. And straight away, I'm recognizing that, and I'm aware. It's about the awareness, and so I actually cycle my bomb in the opposite lane, knowing he wants the pigs into it. So we actually predict the pigs, and now we can go incredibly aggressive because we know he has nothing to directly kill the Skelly guy. So go for Tesla, go for delivery, but they still survive. They're gonna be on tower, and then this Night Witch at the bridge is genius. His tower has no ammo. He has nothing for the Skelly drags. He has nothing in hand that can kill it. It's going to keep one-shotting everything incredibly slowly, and that's game. And so straight away, it's just using the tower ammo. I thought more a lot of people would have just randomly Night Witched the bridge, but it was actually a stroke of genius. And so, yeah, this is about to be really, really nice defense. It's interesting, because I know he wants to try and sort of pig split plus Evo Skellies, but I'm not going to fall for it, especially not when I'm actually trying. So we'll go for Evo Zab one lane, fireball the other, and that's just super, super clean. And yeah, it's game over. There's no way he can get this much damage in that little time. I can go for my Skelly Drags, yeah. And this is the thing, Skelly Drags, you see a lot of matchups how good they are. That's why I really feel like they're valuable in this deck. I think typically it's used with Hunter, but you know, Hunter isn't all that great at the moment. And so yeah, we do just go aggressive because it's kind of the idea that whilst I'm attacking, he has to defend. And if he has to defend, he can't attack me. So it's basically just stalling out the rest of the time. And so we're just sort of stalling and stalling. Go for Fisherman on this. But yeah, that's GG's. A nice first game against this guy. And yeah, a lot of the times you can win in single. It can be CRL, it can be the top level of the game. But if you're smart about it, even in not the best matchups, single it is. At least that's how the game is currently. And into the second game against this opponent, we go for Pekka Bridgeland. It's very strong at the moment, Battle Ram Evo. And as you can tell, I'm kind of a heavy deck merchant. But when I'm doing that, probably one of the best beatdown players, I like to think of at least. It's more effective than it should be, I think. You know, he can have the guards, he can have whatever defenses he wants. But when the decks are strong and you're good with them, especially in a Jules format, where you know they use certain cards, or they want to use certain cards, it's very easy to be quite successful. And so yeah, I actually really like this start. We've cycled out Evo, we've learned potentially the most important thing about his deck in terms of the guards, plus the queen now. And so we just play it safe. I could have packed the back, but I choose to poison because we just want to make sure we know everything about this deck. He does end up having a mortar, which yeah, I mean is perfectly fine. Let's go for archers plus a snowball here. I like the archers just to psych with the Evo, and you know what? I might have taken just one hit, but why risk it? Especially when the snowball isn't all that useful anyway. And yeah, nice back timing. It's actually very easy timing to take no hits from a hog. But this, yeah, we look at his hand. We know his hand is awful, and he has to go for guards. Plus, he's gonna have to go for a queen, and then his Evo Knight. And that's gonna be a dead queen. That Evo Knight's dead. And we're aware. Look at this. The tower's got no ammo, and so he can just battle around the bridge. There's nothing he can do. Same way we know he wants a Fire Spirit now, so we're just gonna abandon the bridge. He's gonna Fire Spirit at 0 elixir, he has nothing. And as soon we'll go for a prediction snowball. I mean, to be honest, yeah, it's not bad. He can't attack me anyways. We basically just snowball cycle the tower. Worst things can happen. And so going into double with this lead, it's great. I don't really see how we can lose in this position unless he gets an even mortar connection. And now, this back in the bag, right? Whatever he does, he has to play the queen into the same lane. We get some ghost connections, well, one connection on the tower. And yeah, what we wanted him to do was go for that mortar. So we could go for a high bandit, force out the guards, then archers in the middle to hit both the queen and work on that mortar. The battle ram is going and going. The battle ram's getting quite oppressive. He's having to defend in both lanes. We can go for a second battle ram because then he has to use his guards. And we've got the Mother Witch going on. We can go for a bandit. This is just excellent bridge spam. All my cards at the bridge. And even go for archers as well. We go for the predict snowball. Beautiful, actually. It didn't really matter because we're just trying to get the pigs to chip. But yeah, really perfect game for bridge spam, to be honest. And so at this point, I think I was 6-1 or something after the loss to Mo. And so ideally you want to be sort of 8-2 to qualify. And now, into the next game against Vetor. Vetor, very nice guy. And so we knew this would be a tough battle with top player. And so kind of going for a comfort deck with the Golem. Chooses to Rage. I don't know why I went for Skelly Drags at the back. I just felt like it. But it was actually smart. He didn't need that Fisherman because the tower would kill it by itself. But then, since he knows my sort of style, he can't really risk Fisherman in the back. So he goes for 5 on the pump, and I'm kind of thinking, okay, if you want to do that, I can happily go for Golem, Slice the Night Witch in single, and I should be fine. And so this push, which he does quite repeatedly, Ghost RG, is actually an excellent punish of this deck, especially in this version where I don't have barbs or something like that. And so we choose to just bomb up, because we don't want it to do too much 3-crown damage, but you know, we don't have to spend too much. And we go for Knight here, because we know he wants the Fishman. We get a nice NATO with everything. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that he has both the E-Spirit plus the Rage in this deck. We couldn't really have predicted that. That being said, yeah, these Skelly Drags are very, very smart because, he hasn't really got anything in his hand that can defend them. And when the tower's at no ammo, it's just really useless. And so we basically just sent naked Skelly Drags, but they're going to take out his entire tower, which, works out quite well for me. And then now we're also up a little bit of Elixir, so we can afford to get a pump. And yeah, that's NATO range or one bomber shot or whatever. So he goes for this ghost. In terms of blocking the RG, we go for a high Night Witch. He chooses the RG there, which was smart plus the rage. I don't think it's a great rage, and we can get a decent NATO off. I will take a couple more hits. And yeah, he really, really is trying to kill this pump. And it kind of works out for us because we can cycle Evo Knight. And then here, good macros, we know, okay, that pump is gone for. We can go for a goal in this lane. Because we know it's going to be a 2-tower game. He's going for the same push, so we go for a Night Witch plus Bomber. And yeah, that will take my tower out, or pretty much. And so we're trying to take both his towers with this single push, which, intelligently, we predict the Fishman with the Knight in the opposite lane, plus we want to build a push, and now all of a sudden he's kind of in trouble. So you go for these split Skelly Drags, so he can't really fireball them. Plus the Night Witch at the bridge. Because he knows he wants the fireball now, yeah. We take that tower, and now we can get an Evo Bomber here. We should line up perfect. And so he'll go for his RG, and all of a sudden we have Golem against RG in a 3-crown game, which I've never even seen in my life. It's just kind of crazy. And so it's just a very weird position, because RG is always going to do so much damage, but then if I can manage to get a Golem down if I need to, he's going to struggle. And so we're trying to both sort of play it quite slow. E-Drag here is very broken. We predict the RG actually, and then he does miss one Skelly Drag. We can go for a second E-Drag, because really there's not that much he can do against it. Little Prince is good, but it's not that great. And unfortunately, if that Little Prince had died, I would have won right there. I couldn't have predicted that that interaction was going to happen though. That being said, we're kind of fine. This RG wasn't great, because we can NATO it back into our E-Drag, plus he now wastes the rage because of that NATO. We can get a bomber as well, plus a knight. And yeah, he gets his fireball off. But we know he has no fireball, no Little Prince in hand, so we can go for basically just Skelly Drags the bridge to protect our E-Drag. And this works out well, because the E-Drag's gonna chain. There's not that much he can do, that's the dead Little Prince. We go for a second E-Drag, and now we're just spamming. We're spamming, we're trying to 3-crown him, so he can't get another RG off. We do manage to NATO this RG off our tower, we're gonna 3-crown him first. And ugh, that is a crazy game. I was quite hyped after that one. And into the next game against Vetor. So after that first game with the Golem, we're thinking, there's a lot of options. I know I'm confident with my MK Witch. I know I can beat anything with it. And so yeah, he has Pekka Bridge Spam, which isn't typically great. A lot of people I feel like would lose this. They say, oh, MK vs Pekka, I can't win, I can't win. This is proof you can. If anything, it's a good matchup. The Witch does do a lot here though. And so we just cycle our Wall Breakers. And now we've seen these cards, we know it's Pekka, so we can just Prince the back. The Witch getting a lot of value. If it had stayed alive there, I would have gone for MK at the bridge and won. It's fine though. This MK at the back's perfectly fine. Tanks for the Queen, and then we'll be able to see, that he has the Pekka and potentially supports it with certain things. So it puts us in a nice spot. Or he chooses to Bandit, which is smarter. Misses the timing slightly, and then I froze because I thought it was coming in that lane, but the MK pushed it. It's fine though, because I just go for minions plus sap. And then, yeah, that miner's getting good damage. And, yeah, we're up. We didn't take any hits on the right as well, so it was good minions plus sap in the end. We can leave the Dark Prince because it's gonna die. And he chooses to cycle arrows. I don't think it's a great play. but at the same time his hand was very awkward. And this is genius, right? Nobody expects that sort of prince in front, especially when he has no Dark Prince in hand. We just forced out his P.E.K.K.A. while cycling the Evo Wall Breakers. That was perfect. I could not have asked for a better sort of interaction with that prince. And so in terms of we want to block P.E.K.K.A., we do take one hit on the MK. But yeah, it's pretty good. And this minor was actually kind of bad, because the tower hits it. But yeah, force out the arrows, so it works out in the end. And let's see. You go for the high minions plus the evil wall breakers because the minions are going to tank for the tower. And then yeah, they don't really expect that when you use bats or minions to support. And look at that. 2 connections on the wall breakers. We can leave that bandit, but we know he's going to P.E.K.K.A, so we actually choose not to. We go for the miner, and here, he should have left it. If he was smart, he would have left it. Because then he could have built up a massive push and I might have lost. However, a lot of the top players, they prefer to defend rather than making like an overly risky play, which is understandable, but then I guess he ends up losing, or does he? We will see. And now this genius MK, right? Because I know that's not going to get a connection based on the tower, and now I've got a massive push. He's going to have to defend it, and we can get a nice miner on tower. The tower has no ammo, so the mine's going to get good damage, put us back in the damage lead. And then also in the elixir lead as well. He does have both his Evos in hand, so you have to be careful. And we do the same thing. Wolvericker's, yeah, behind. He has to go for his Dark Prince. Alternatively, he could have used his Evo Zap, but he's smart enough to not. I think, again, there, he could have got away with leaving them. He opts to not, and that's fine. But now we can pull off another good defense. And look at another good defense, and look at how the Witch stalls everything, right? He goes for his Evo Zap, so we go for ours. Just about getting those witch things going. We cycle our miner to fix up the cycle. That was very, very smart. A lot of people wouldn't have sort of picked up on that. But we wanted that ground troop plus. We can now predict his P.E.K.K.A. Go for the Prince plus Evil Wall Breakers, force out both his spells, and now this Zap. Last second, perfect. He's got nothing for these minions as well. So these minions are going to go through. He has to go for his Phoenix. We can just go for a Witch. He wants a Battle Ram. And this is the MK. Yeah. The MK coming in handy. And at this point, we know he can't spell me out, or he can't touch my tower if I just defend. As you can tell, I'm kind of sick. But worth it for the 9-1 today. Worth it for the rank 2 placement. And so yeah, we're just basically stalling, playing random rubbish at the bridge. We go for a miner just in the middle of nothing. Zap as well, we go for high minions, and that is a really, really perfect game of MK. To be honest, the macros were there, the witch macros were there, everything I could ask for. And not an easy matchup, but we win these. We win these. And so that took us to a record of 7-1, at which point we had already qualified because we had a very good tiebreaker. However, we keep playing because we're enjoying it too much. And into the next duel against Coco, good player from Korea. Very, very lovely person, and we note that he uses Cannoneer a lot. So I go for one of my MK Drill bait decks. We make the switch as well for Dark Goblin, because we just sort of felt like they might predict the witch. I'd use it a couple times. Why not switch it up? Ah, switch it up, haha. And yeah, it works out very well in this case because he doesn't have arrows or anything, so he has the Evo Zap or Poison. And we got a Wall Breaker connection on the right. So yeah, nice start. We just zap the bandit, no hits. That's a good interaction to know, and we cycle our Evo Zap. And he cycles his Evo Zap, which is not the smartest thing to do, because my whole deck is bait. Yeah. And so that goblin hit, well, the spear goblin hit in the end. I'm gonna just go for a bandit, plus we can go for a ghost. I could have gone for wall breakers as well, but a little bit aggressive. And yeah, I knew that bandit would connect, so it all worked out. Plus 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hits. And now we have a massive lead. If he was smart, again, he would have done something in the opposite lane, because, yeah, why are you doing that into an MK deck? I guess he didn't know. But at the same time, he should have done. And now this zap, it stops the ram charging past the MK splash. It also cycles my Evo. And now we want to force the zap with the Goblin Gang. So it's not a great zap. we do actually miss these wall breakers. Well, we didn't really, but it was just an unfortunate interaction. And so we take a lot of damage from that bandit. A small mistake there, but it happens. Especially under a lot of pressure, I guess.
Excuse me, don't you know who I am?
And now this push really doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't play a lot of P.E.K.K.A or something, but it's never gonna break through. And it just is quite odd. I do actually make a mistake here. I need to watch it back. Yeah, the P.E.K.K.A. The last poison tick killed my bandit, right? So the P.E.K.K.A did connect with the extra range on my tower. However, we do get our wall breaker connections, and I know it's fine. I've got enough time to come back. And to be honest, a 2-tower game, I know I can outplay him. So we're pretty happy. We space out the Dark Goblin to avoid the Evo Zap. And then to ensure we take his tower, we just go for everything at the bridge. Plus the Zap, because he tries to defend it, but yeah, it's connecting. There's nothing we can do about it. And now we can go for high minions. We think about defensive drill, but obviously the MK is a better choice. Although it does push the MK back this battle round, so we have to be quite careful. And yeah, decent defense. And we're pretty confident to be able to outplay him here. Especially with this hand with no ghost, no zap. We can try and get a wall breaker connection. We kind of just spam everything. Dead Mother Witch. And look how much damage we get from that single push. And now, to be honest, we're in one good drill wall breaker's range. And he's kind of nervous, I guess. Yeah, we're cycling our minions very aggressively. We go for wall breakers like this to space them out so the ghost won't hit them both. Aggressive Evo Zap. And yeah, take the first game. We just don't really lose with MK. But that was pretty nice. Nice pressure, nice win. And so the next game actually ends up being the game 3 of the duel. I lost the middle one. And so we're kind of in an awkward spot where he actually has sort of the perfect snipe against recruits spam. He's got Tesla, he's got Execution, NATO, Fireball, Valk. And this might be one of the worst matchups I've ever played. In a long time at least. Well, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, guards as well, like this is just ridiculous. A nice lumberjack placement, no hits on the drill. We can just go for an aggressive recruits, because yeah, we want to cycle that Evo. He has to play something, yeah, like a Val, perfect. And so we don't know the deck yet, we want to find out, we can go for this sort of Night Witch. He goes for his Xe, we're sort of like, he's got Xe, NATO, Fireball. I don't see any way he possibly loses this. And yeah, straight away, he can go super aggressive. We can go for a high ghost, try and block the Xe shot. But it still gets 2 shots. Quite unlucky there, tempted to say. But, you know, 1 ghost hit, so I guess that's the comeuppance from that. And so straight away we're down a decent amount of damage, especially since he starts with less HP. I don't know why he's playing the cannon, it's not the strongest, but they know I use a lot of beatdown, they're trying to snipe that. It's sort of understandable. And so here we can go for our Evo recruits at the back. And we know he wants to do sort of the same thing, Valk defense. But we want him to play the Xe in the same lane as the Valk, so we go for the Night Witch there, and he does. He falls for the bait, and so we can go for an aggressive Lumberjack off the lane. Plus a Little Prince. Because he's trying the NATO, and we're well aware of that. He takes the NATO, and then he also gets the Evo Valk down. It was a bad ability for me. I was hoping the Evo Valk would pull the Little Prince in so the ability would be onto the tower. Didn't quite work out. It's fine, and then at this point, we discover he's got Fireball as well. But we know the interaction, we know the Skelly Guys will hit before that Fireball will come down. And we can just go for our Cruiser back again. Ideally, we're trying to get an Evo Recruits, Evo Ram push when he doesn't have the Evo Tesla in hand, because obviously that resets all the charges and everything. However, this push is already pretty formidable. We can go for a high Little Prince. So even once he Evo Teslas, it's going to be quite significant. We also go for the high ability. And we force the XE in the wrong lane, which is nice. Plus the XE in this lane is dead. And so we can just go for a Lumberjack in the bag. And get some arrows off, might as well spell cycle. Let's try and get a Lumberjack near the tower. And so once again, set up our Evo recruits. There's not really any way to break through if he plays good defense. But we always find a way. And this little prince is nice. And then we threaten the left with the battle ram, plus Lumberjack, plus the arrows prediction, which we were just gonna arrows there anyways, but it happens that he plays its cards. And so now, this little prince ability is so cheeky, because we know it's about to die, so we hit the Fire Spirit plus the XE, and this is where the game changes. We force a second XE, which now he doesn't have for defense. He's down a load of elixir, and now we can start a breakthrough. And so, it was that one good little prince ability that was really late that made a big difference. So we're trying to capitalize on the fact he has no XE, he's down elixir. Go for a high little prince. We'll go for the arrows, hit the Tesla plus the guards. It's not a great drill because he wants to be able to defend as well. And so now we get a second set of recruits at the bridge. A massive push. The first one isn't even dead. Skelly drags the middle because he can't really fireball everything. And then we'll get some arrows off. Yeah, the recruit slipping through, the ghost slipping through. He goes for his late XE again. And he has to go for his Evo Valk. And we just have to defend now. Somehow we managed to break through a little bit. We've got a good lead. If we can defend here, we will win. But that is a big ask considering it has one of the easiest matchups I've seen in a long time. So we'll do our best. We're just trying to take that XE off the big field because then we know we can go for like a Lumberjack and a Ghost. And see what he tries to do. We can just go for Little Prince High. That's the ability and then get the arrows off and yeah. GG's. I don't know how we won that. We really shouldn't. But we were kind of on fire at this point. And so we begin the final duel. At this point we're 8-1 with guaranteed qualification, so I'm just gonna enjoy it. Play a bit of mortar bait, go back to sort of my roots, I guess, the sort of my classic decks, and this Marcher straight away, very aggressive. And so we can go for Skelly Drives plus Mortar in the opposite lane. And then we're able to see the key aspects of his deck just from that. So the bowler straight away is going to cause me a lot of issues. Plus basically his entire deck is splash cards, so it's not ideal. That being said, we're pretty confident with the mortar bait, so we should be perfectly fine. And this was just a horrible drill. I don't know why you would do that. Kind of clueless. And not a great NATO either. I don't think it's worth it for one shot. We don't know his deck, so we go for ability plus gang plus Skelly Drags. Plus potentially even... Do we minor? No, we don't. Once he wastes his Marcher though, you go for the opposite lane. Mortar, knowing that he'll Evo Bomber, it's fine though. Because we can go for Dark Goblin, and he chooses to NATO, which I don't think was the best play. Because we'll get the 2 hits, and then he's just evening out the damage in both lanes, right? He's almost exactly the same, so it's not that helpful for him. Plus we get our hits. Oh, my throat is dying. But these matches were just delightful. So again with the drill, we go for the gang, no hits, which is nice. And then we can set up a knock at the back. He wants to march at this, we're just gonna take one hit and ability and it's just useless. And here, this was one of the worst plays I've made, but I turned it into one of the best plays I've made. I missed the Evo Mortar, I just play it in the middle. It's fine though, right? So I can get my Barbs, I can cycle my Evo, and now I recognize I made a mistake, but it's how can we use this to our advantage? So we go full aggression, so we know he has to play ground troop, so then the Evo Mortar shoots, and then he has to play another ground troop. So now, we managed to make an Evo Mortar that missed onto the tower twice, and for a third shot, and now we've got an Evo Mortar that wasn't even in range, onto the tower like 4 or 5 times. We're up a load of damage. We can go for a minor, we can go for the aggressive gang as well. He has to go for his bowler. And there you go, right? I can make all the mistakes I want, but if I'm smart about it, you know, it doesn't really matter all that much. And so we go for a doggle in the other lane. We expect him to go for his nado. We know he loves the aggressive nados. And, you know, he hits it. It's not a bad nado. However, now he's going to be in trouble in terms of defending this. So once again, we can go very aggressive. We're just sort of in minor cycle range. We're trying to get a monk down as well to reflect the bowl onto his tower. Or just to reflect the tower that's actually shooting. But we get some nice timed skelly drags plus a high mortar just to block off and make sure we can finish out the game cleanly. And then minor plus arrows should take it unless he hits a predict nado. He doesn't hit the nado, and yeah, nice first game. We probably shouldn't win that. It is the sort of matchup I would expect to win when I'm really focused. So yeah, really nice one. And into the final game, and this was what gave me the 9-1 record, which actually put me in second position. Behind Mo, of course, who went 10-0. And yeah, we're just playing really interesting decks. We've already qualified, we're just trying to have some fun, trying to diversify a little bit, test some different combinations. My coach is always crafting stuff a little bit like me, so it's nice to be able to use them in competitive. We can go for these recruits, yeah. When he queens like that, I'm very happy to go aggressive recruits. I actually don't fireball this Mother Witch. It's interesting because I could have done, but the pigs would have ended up spawning anyways, plus why take the risk? You know, I've cycled my recruits. I make a mistake here with a lumberjack, actually. I could have been a lot later because the tower shoots the battle round before it connects. It's fine though. It's not really a big deal. Yeah, there you go. Rage on tower. And so here we can just go for a Little Prince at the back. This ghost doesn't make so much sense because the tower pretty much kills it by itself. And now he's in trouble, right? He's down elixir. We can go for a round. We have a Little Prince on the field. We have Evo recruits in hand. And we're just going to play him with the bridge. What can he do? He can't P.E.K.K.A. He's got a massive push. He has to go for his queen ability, but, you know, I could have fireballed on the right and it would have been a good play. That being said, because he has to play as Fishman anyways, now, this is where one of the most pristine punishes you'll ever see comes in. We cycle our Ghost, which allows us to get to our Lumberjack, which allows us to get to our Evo Ram, which will then be raged, and when they don't have good counters in hand, what else are you gonna do? Good luck countering that. Thank you. And that's about to impregnate his tower, and it's having, you know, triplets. I mean, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. And those on tower, it has no ammo, so he has to go for his Mother Witch, which then also dies. And it still takes tower, and yeah, GG's. Play smart, not well, is the motto. And so now, it's just about enjoying the moment. It's my best day one finish so far in second position. So, just have some fun with it. I was joking with my coach about trying to 3-crown him, or just giving him a tower, so I could get more crowns for my record. But then I thought, okay, maybe we should actually defend because I might lose. Why take the risk? Especially after this, right? Because all of a sudden now I actually have to defend. I mean, it's just a battle round on tower, it's not a big deal. But, like, I'd rather it wasn't on my tower as well. And he tries to go for his Evo Ram. I should have fireballed it. I wasn't that smart. I mean, it dies anyway, so it doesn't matter, but yeah. And that's a really nice game to end day one. And so I will see you tomorrow, where I will try to finish first in my group for a lot of money and to qualify to the monthly finals. Oh, ended there. Delightful.